All right, perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Saunders. I'm a first-year student here at Chapel Hill, and I'm double majoring in environmental studies with a geography with a concentration in geographic information systems. So this semester, I had the privilege of interning with New Hope Audobon through EcoStudios. I'm excited to tell you about my experience within this internship and the work concerning bird window collisions I did here on campus. And if you could go to the second slide.
Yep, I'm on it.
Perfect. New Hope Audubon is a local chapter of the National Audubon Society. Their mission revolves around wildlife conservation, specifically the protection of birds and their habitats. New Hope Audubon also has a great focus on community outreach. They've maintained a relationship with some of the sustainability specialists here on campus, which I did have the honor of shadowing those meetings on Zoom, and they're very interesting to see the way they interact with everyone here and request action on campus. And they are now partnering with EcoStudios to increase student involvement. My internship revolved around bird window collisions, a threat that is extremely applicable to birds in developed areas such as college campuses. There's been prior research about collision rates on campus through both New Hope Audubon Society and independent UNC research classes, and these studies have highlighted a few specific buildings of concern. And Brian, if you could go to the third slide.
Yep.
Perfect. This is where I came in. My responsibilities included researching building features and risk factors that would lead to an increased rate of bird window collisions, analyzing buildings on campus and creating a method to dictate a quantitative risk score, surveying buildings for new collisions, and compiling information using GIS software. I use QGIS, which is a free GIS program that I'm learning in one of my classes this semester. And if you could continue to the fourth slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
As I mentioned at the beginning of my internship, I spent time researching building features that increase the risk of bird window collisions. I was tasked to find information specific to a campus setting. This led me to a lot of peer-reviewed journals detailing research similar to what I would be doing with this project. Specifically, I read about a similar study done at Duke, which was extremely applicable due to the nature of their campus and the similar geographic location. In this time period, I also looked into mitigation and prevention strategies, as well as general information concerning birds and their behavior that might lead to collisions. Here's a graphic I put together compiling some of my findings. Right, and if you could go to the fifth slide.
Yep.
So this leads me to the aspect of my project that I'm most proud of, which is my GIS maps. After my initial research, I created an equation that would convert both quantitative and qualitative aspects of buildings into a cumulative risk score. This allows for comparison between buildings and identification of buildings that pose the highest risk to birds. Using this equation, I surveyed several buildings that New Hope Audubon volunteers had collected collision data on in the past. I then utilized OpenStreetMaps on QGIS to isolate and rank the selected buildings by both their risk scores and the number of recorded bird window collisions. And these are the maps that I ended up with. The risk score is going to be on the left, and the recorded collisions are going to be on the right. So as you can see, there's a pretty strong correlation between the two. And then if you can continue to the sixth slide.
Okay.
Thank you. After reviewing this data, there were two main conclusions. Firstly, Wilson Hall poses a prominent and ongoing risk to birds, with over 164 reported bird window collisions over the past few migration seasons. Despite attempts at mitigation, such as bird-shaped window stickers, there's been little to no improvement. Patterns on windows are only effective in deterring birds if there's a maximum of 10 centimeters in between them, and these stickers are far too spread out to be efficient. Additionally, there's an observable correlation between my equation and the observed bird window collisions, which is promising, as this equation could provide an easier way to compare and prioritize target buildings on campus for future mitigation. And if you could go to the seventh slide.
Okay.
A few key takeaways from my experience are gained experience using GIS technology in a real life setting, which it was really, really interesting to see something that I was learning in real time being used in a very applicable in real life setting. Broadening knowledge of bird behavior and conservation. a strengthened ability to communicate and work collaboratively despite the boundaries of a remote setting, which I think everyone has really experienced these boundaries lately, and we're experiencing them right now with technical difficulties. So I think this is one of my most useful skills. And then if you could go to the last slide.
Got it.
Perfect. With that, I would like to thank EcoStudios and New Hope Audubon with a special shout out to my mentor, Jen Bai, who supported me through the full experience. I've gained so much from this internship, and I am now happy to open the floor up for any questions.